Fires, drought and now devastating floods, all in a matter of months. Greece has been battered by the forces of nature unleashed by climate change. The north of the country has been badly affected. Around the port city of Volos, Storm Daniel has produced record rainfall, triggering landslides and sweeping dozens of vehicles away in muddy waters. Athens too has also been affected. Bulgaria and Turkey have been hit as well, with at least 14 confirmed deaths across the region. Let's cross now to Greece, where our correspondent Sophia Kleftaki is standing by for us. She's been touring the port city of Volos. Sophia, great to see you. So give us a sense of how much damage the flooding has caused there. What have you seen?
Pablo, the damage that Storm Daniel has caused is catastrophic. I'm standing at the port of Volos right now, or what used to be the port of Volos. You can see right behind me the huge catastrophe. The river Graphidonas overflowed about 2 hours ago and caused this break of the street. So it's blocked. No one can pass here. In front of me, there is the police checking on the people and which cars are allowed to drive, as the streets are full of mud and it's really, really hard to get around. There are stones everywhere. There are people, shop owners, that are trying to save what can be saved right now. And it looks really, really dramatic. Also, it doesn't stop. The rain continues for hours now. It's the third day, and it doesn't look that it stopped. It's really, really hard times for the people here in Volos.
It sounds horrific, Sophia, to be honest with you. What have people been telling you there in Volos?
It does. It does. We spoke to people here, and the residents of Volos. What they're telling us is really unbelievable. So the water supply is cut for the third day now. So they're telling us they're collecting rainwater in order to wash plates or themselves. They don't have water to drink. The water supply just started about half an hour ago, and yesterday water prices went up to €8 for 6 liters of water, which normally is less than €2. So people are even taking advantage of the situation, which is really crazy and really, really hard. Also, electricity is not in every household. People told us that they reach out to the families that try to stick together. And whenever the conditions are better, they go to the other houses to stick together and to communicate each other on if they're safe and what they're doing, as also the connection is really, really bad. So the only thing they can do right now really is pray, is wait, is try to keep calm, which is not really possible. We saw also many people fighting with policemen that were insisting on crossing specific parts that were blocked. So we can see desperation all over here.
Yeah, it sounds very tough indeed for all the people who are still there. Now, as heavy rainfall continues in different parts of the country, it looks like it's raining where you are at the moment. What are the Greek authorities, what advice are they giving to people?
Well, the advice, Pablo, the Greek authorities are giving to the people is avoiding unnecessary transfers, to stay indoors if possible, to avoid basements and lower parts of the houses or the buildings. So this is the main strategy of the authorities right now, which people are trying to follow.
Thanks, Sophia, for your reporting. DW correspondent Sophia Kleftaki in Volos. All right, well, to better understand what is behind this extreme weather hitting Greece, DW climate reporter Louise Osborne is here with me in the studio. Louise, really desperate conditions there in Greece from what Sophia has been telling us. And of course, this is coming hot on the heels of a very hot summer in Greece. In fact, they had the largest wildfire ever recorded in the EU this summer. And the Greek government are blaming climate change. But is that accurate?
I mean, we can definitely say, or almost certainly say, with regards to the wildfires and the hot weather that led to that, the hot conditions that helped spread that, scientists have told me that it's likely that was influenced by climate change. When it comes to rainfall, it's a lot more difficult to tell. They haven't done any studies on this yet. It's obviously an event that is still happening at the moment. The cause is unlikely to be directly linked to climate change. There's a weather pattern that meteorologists are pointing to as having caused this event, but climate change could be having an impact when it comes to the amount of water that we're seeing come down.
Well, explain that to us a little bit more. So this exceptional rainfall that we're seeing and how climate change could be the reason for it.
So basically what happens is that when the Earth is warmer, as it is, the atmosphere is warmer, that means more water evaporates from water bodies like the oceans, also from the ground, and that is held in the air until it forms rain clouds. With a warmer atmosphere, it means that there is more water that can be held in the air, basically, which means that when we have these rainfall events, they can be much heavier. Now, this is not always the way that it is, and like I said, scientists need to conduct the studies, but this is a possibility for the reason that we're seeing such large amounts of water coming down. It's also being exacerbated by the fact that, you know, with these hot weather events, the water having evaporated from the ground also leaves the ground much drier and unable to absorb the water that is coming, which can lead also then to this heavy flooding.
Which is what we saw actually just a few days ago in Spain, which was related to that as well, exactly what you just said there. So just yesterday, the UN confirmed that we endured the hottest summer on record. Some here in Germany might say it wasn't the case, but in fact, it is looking like it was. With all these alarms, can we expect a tougher political commitment to fight climate change? Big question here, Louise.
Well, I mean, this is not the first time that we've seen extreme weather. The extreme rain and heavy flooding that we saw in Pakistan this year was attributed to climate change. The rain that we saw in West Africa last year was also attributed to climate change. We've got the climate change being responsible for the hot weather, as you just mentioned, in southern Europe. And yet governments are not acting quickly enough, experts would say. They know what they need to do. They need to stop burning fossil fuels and stop putting more carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Now, we have the COP climate conference coming up at the end of this year. Governments will be getting together then to discuss what they're going to do about these kinds of events that are taking place. And we can expect that the pressure is going to be much higher on them to take some action.
Thanks, Louise. Louise Osborne, DW climate reporter.